We'll call the meeting to order. Well, this is not the regular meeting. This is the public hearing of the town of East Lyme for the storage, collection, and disposal of solid waste and providing for a system of refuse collection and disposal, administration thereof. Should be a rather brief public hearing. But we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance at the beginning of our regular meeting. How's that? So this is a public hearing because we are changing some of the items in an ordinance that's already been established, whereas we're going to be taking our refuge. Well, how do you say that?
Refuse.
To Lisbon instead of Preston. Is that right, Joe?
That's correct.
Okay. There's also another detail in the order about SCARA. There's another new clause in here. If the refuse isn't acceptable, it goes to the SCARA facility, but I think that already happens anyway. This being a public hearing, we would like anyone from the public to join in. I'm going to unmute everybody on the call. There's a few people on the call. And a few people coming into the meeting. So unmuting everyone, be careful what you say. And would anyone like to speak from the public on this item during the public hearing? Any members from the public or even staff or anybody like to speak on the public hearing?
Mark, do you want me to explain this in a 30 seconds?
We did it last meeting, and you can recap it in our regular meeting. If we'll both go ahead and recap it. Give me 30 seconds, Doug.
Yep. SCARA has been taking their trash. SCARA is the regional trash authority, 13 towns. Have been taken to the incinerator that's right across from Mohegan Sun in Preston, and we negotiated a new 10-year agreement with Wheelabrator, which is the smokestack as you go up in Lisbon, up on 395. And much better, like 30% less in rates, very best rates in the state of Connecticut. This is a slam dunk. It's just that Wheelabrator, as part of their contract with us, require that every town has to not only have a municipal services agreement that lines up with their 10-year contract, which we already did back in October with the Board of Selectmen, and that's already taken care of the MSA. And the second part is they want it in the ordinance. Every town has an ordinance that all the trash in that town goes somewhere. And over all these years, the last 30 years, it's been going to Preston. This is all about tonight. It just changes from Preston to, say, Lisbon, just because Wheelabrator, if they're going to give us these special rates, wants it in writing in town ordinance that all our trash is going to be going to that facility for the next 10 years. That's what this is all about. It's kind of a change in words as far as in location. But from a town of East Lyme, it's not going to affect Joe resident. My trash, your trash, anyone's trash in town, they're not going to see any difference. We're just driving. We're actually going to Lisbon now anyways because they gave us a favorable rate for the last 6 months before we start the contract in January. So it has to be done by the end of June to get all these in. We're one of the last towns to do it just because we kind of got caught in the COVID thing in March. I was planning on doing it. So this does have to be ratified before the end of June or it could impact all 13 towns.
I remember in March saying, "Oh, we have plenty of time." June's far off, and who would ever thought that all this would have happened, and then we find ourselves stuck in Zoom meetings and all that. But this is a public hearing, and if there's nobody from the public who wishes to speak, as we have asked a couple of times, I'll give anybody a shot. If you'd like to. Speak now, unmute yourself, *6, I believe is how you do that, or send a chat. And I'll give it a second if anyone would like to speak. I think mostly we have department heads on here on unidentified phones, but if not, okay, and I can take a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved. Second.
So Kevin Siri made the motion, and was that Mark Salerno second?
Nope. Paul Daigle.
Paul Daigle, okay. I'm gonna ask you, Sandy's request, that you identify yourself when you make motions or even when you speak, because that's the proper way of doing it on Zoom. We might as well get used to doing that. So when we have make a motion or even want to speak, hi, this is Mark Nickerson, I'd like to say something else, kind of thing, okay? Thank you. We have a motion on the table. Any comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Dan, are you an aye?
I'm an aye.
Okay, you were a late.
He was waving. He's
Yeah.
waving hello.
I'm an aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Okay, the ayes have it, and by my count, it's a unanimous vote to close the public hearing. Very simply.